Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to Let's Play .hack GU Volume 2. This is Some Type of Artist. Last time we defeated Sirius. That long arc is finally drawn to a close, so... Now what's new? What's new for the world of SAO now? To SAO from Philo. You must be pretty shocked to get an email from me, seeing how I'm supposed to be dead. I have something I want to give you. I'll be waiting at blah 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 blah. Huh. Okay. Let's go get a thing from a dead person, I guess.
How did Philo send me I mean, Philo, is that really you? Let's see. Theta bequeathed insatiable mysteries, huh? I'd better get going.
Yes, we better go see our old friend Philo. Oh, I'm sorry, audience. Did you forget who Philo was? He's, you know, that guy, remember? No, you don't know who Philo is, and that's perfectly normal. I guess it'll be a good time to talk about this a little bit now. In fact, it involves .hack roots, so I just happened to have started watching it last week, and I'm about 2/3 of the way through it right now, and I have thoughts on roots, and they're not all negative. Like I'll be honest now. I am really liking .hack roots so far. It's a solid, good show for me so far. Not without its problems, especially relating to .hack GU, but I am enjoying it so far. But there are some things I want to bring up with it, and I might talk about a little of them now, and I might talk about a little of them after I actually finish watching the series, because I still don't really remember what happens in the rest of it to really give a like an accurate, full, like, recollection thing. Oh my god, it's a puppet. I love puppets like those. But yeah, so Philo was a character from .hack Roots, a character that, well, that's kind of a good question. It's a character that, like, Haseo, I don't know if I would say was friends with. I'm not really sure if you could say Haseo was friends with anybody from .hack Roots aside from Shino. But he was a character that Haseo and almost every other major character in .hack Roots kind of talks with. He's this little cat NPC, like a beast person, like Gaspard kind of, but like a cat instead of like a dog, that like hangs out on Mac Anu's bridge, and well, he basically gives life advice to everybody, more or less. I mean, he knows more about, you know, things relating to Ovan and Shino and the game and stuff like that, but I mean, more or less, he was kind of like, I guess something of a mentor to Haseo. But, yeah, at some point in Roots, he dies, because he's an old man in real life. I forget if he has, like, cancer or something, or if he just dies of old age. I didn't get to that part in the series yet, but he does die, and, well, here he is in Roots, in GU, just hanging out. I don't know why they completely blocked out his portrait, because we do see him here, but whatever. So let's go chase a ghost then. What do you want to know? Who you are would help for all of us that have never watched .hack Roots before. If you want to know, come see me in this area. So this whole area is basically just go find Philo, and he'll interrupt you at certain points to, like, let you know, like, go this way or go that way. Yes, it's very strange, like, Philo suddenly coming out of nowhere, and there is a point to this, but I really feel like we didn't need Philo for it. I don't know. I'm like I said, I still have 2 DVDs to watch. to finish up Dot Hack Roots and have my overall full thoughts of it, but from what I've seen, re-seen so far, I should say, because for anyone just joining or forgot, maybe, you know, I have played through all the GU games before, and I have seen Dot Hack Roots before, but it's been a very long time, so I kind of need to have a refresher of myself, especially for Roots. I mean, I definitely spent a hell of a lot more time playing the games than watching the anime, but it's weird. I kind of, and you'll see this a little in the little future, I guess, when he like shows up, but I kind of feel like Philo is here in this game to promote Dot Hack Roots, to get like players asking, oh hey, who's this? What's this about? Because then something that I don't show until like the very end of this volume, 2 of the movies you can unlock are actually episodes of Dot Hack Roots, and you know, I just gotta say that is really cool to do. Like, yeah, it kind of sucks they're kind of like promoting their other franchises within the game, like they're doing here with Philo, but like at the same time, it's like I do at least appreciate they give them a sample of Dot Hack Roots in the game itself to like check out if you want to, and you can kind of decide from that whether you want to continue on with it or not. It's not just like something where it's like, oh well, Dot Hack Roots is the prequel to the GU games, it's an absolutely must-watch, or whatever. I do appreciate that, and I can't remember off the top of my head what episode it is. I think it might be the first one, actually. I didn't actually watch the episode on the game here, but I did open up the second part to one of the episodes, and I recognized it when I was rewatching the series now as being in the first episode, so I'm pretty sure that's it. And you know, you get a good introduction to Philo in that episode too. He's a cool cat. Sucks he died. But yeah, it's just kind of weird because it's like nothing about Philo was ever mentioned up until this point, so I can only like guess how confusing it must be for like players without the context of Dot Hack Roots to just suddenly get into this. And that's why I kind of feel like, since it's just like, it's not like this is like plot-based, and it's not like it's, you know, just a cameo or something, like you see him in town and, you know, you don't think much about it if you don't know who he is, but if you do know who he is, it's like, oh hey, it's you from the show! It's kind of just like, I don't know, it does introduce, like, not like a major story element, but like a major gameplay element, and it's kind of like, I don't know why they chose Philo for this of all things, but I mean, whatever. It's neat that he's here, I guess. I really think the game could have, like, made some context for all of this better. Like, it's weird, because it's like, if you haven't seen Roots, then you're not really gonna know who the hell this is, or what relation he has to Haseo, or anything like that. Not that that's any different than, you know, Ovan and Shino in the beginning of the game. And I guess I do want to, like, say this up front right now. Way back, like, all those years ago. At the start of Volume 1, when we had that 8-month time skip, and it kind of, like, rubbed me the wrong way, because I feel like you never really get any time to understand Haseo's relationship to Shino or Ovan. You just kind of have to, like, guess at it by what's given to you here. And I viewed that as, like, a negative, and I mentioned that 8-month time skip is basically Dot Hack Roots, the anime that ties together with this game. And, you know, I did say that I'd come back and watch it again during this Let's Play and kind of give some impressions on it and see if it does, like, a better job, but I'll be honest, like, I did not get a good sense of Haseo growing closer with his relationships with either Ovan or Shino in Roots. Shino more than Ovan, but it didn't really happen until, like, almost right before she was PK'd by Tri-Edge. So, it's But there he is. It's Philo. Little floating cat dude. You know, it's weird, because, like, no one really, like, brings mention to the fact that he's, like, floating or anything like that. And because he's, like, a cat character, too, I always, like, think of him as, like, Maha from Dot Hack Sign. Which is, not... well, which is the same, but not the same Maha from the games. I don't know, Philo himself kind of feels like an illegally edited character sometimes, and it's kind of weird that no one really mentions this. But anyway, so Philo's whole thing is, like, he's introducing us to new items called Adler's Keys. We're gonna get the rest of them, and we'll see what they do soon, but basically what's gonna happen is all of the Epitaph users have more or less ultimate weapons they can unlock, and they unlock them by finding these Adler keys that are now going to appear in the different areas. And they're really easy to see, and I think if you use a Fairy's Orb on any map, it'll also show where they are on the map if you're just, like, hunting them. But, yeah, he was, like, saying stuff like, open your heart and you'll see, and stuff like that, and it's like, I don't know. Again, this is kind of getting to a point where it's like, I feel like this would have been better as its own fantasy world instead of taking place in an RPG, just because, like, an online game, an online RPG, just because of, like, how it's just, like, I don't know. It feels so unnatural sometimes when you think this is all just an online game. It just, you know, feels more melodramatic. And he sent us another email to look at our desktop specifically, like he just said, instead of just telling us here, so that's good. But yeah, like, I'm enjoying Dot Hack Roots, and on its own, I think it's an enjoyable show. I'll talk more about it when I finish it, but I think I'm gonna have to, like, disagree with a lot of people, including my past self, that says you should watch Roots before you play GU for some context, because, like, here's the thing. The whole thing with the 8-month time skip that bugs me is because we don't get any kind of context for, like, what Ovan means to Haseo, what kind of relationship Shino and Haseo have. It's all just kind of, like, up in the air, and we kind of just have to guess from there. And I remember Roots kind of, like, explaining that better, but watching it now, I really don't think it does. Like, because here's the thing. Ovan disappearing and Shino getting PK'd happens a little before the halfway point in the series. So, it's a 26-episode anime, so, you know, half of that is spent with the Twilight Brigade, which I kind of was, like, thinking it lasted a lot longer, to be honest. I remembered Shino getting PK'd, like, more like at the 2/3 section, not, like, just past the 1/3 section, so there is a lot less time spent with Shino and Ovan and the Twilight Brigade in general than I thought. So, that's already a little disappointing. But the thing is, Ovan isn't even, like, around for most of that section anyway. Like, Haseo made some reference and some flashback at some point where he's like, he just remembers the days searching for the Key of the Twilight with Ovan and Shino, but it's like, Ovan was never really there up until, like, one of the points in the show where they think they're about to find the Key of the Twilight. Like, Ovan is just, like, hanging out at the Arche Keln waterfall, talking to Shino sometimes, and that's all we really get to see of him. He has very little interaction with Haseo at all, which makes me, like, even more confused about why Haseo feels like this closeness to him. You know, Shino's present more, too, but Haseo is also, like, I don't know. I feel like Haseo in the show is a lot more likable than Haseo in the games, and I'll talk about this more later too, but one of the reasons I like him more is because he kind of acts like a little more like an awkward, shyer teenager with, like, a deep voice. It makes me think he's, like, going through puberty or something, and it's just, I don't know, he talks back, but he doesn't, like, whine about it. He also doesn't, like, have to chime in on every single person's sentence with, like, an annoying, like, you're such an idiot thing. He's just a lot more likable in there, but he also doesn't, like, emote himself a lot more either. He's, like, the kind of guy that, like, honestly thinks before he speaks, more or less. So, you know, there are times where, like, you kind of get the impression he has a crush on Shino, but he never really, like, it's not like something that's really consumed him or anything like that. And it's not until Ovan disappears and, like, Shino starts to, like, open up a little more and get a little more tender with Haseo that I can actually, like, see something more kind of building between the two of them. But even then, that's kind of, like, weird too, because it's like, I really feel like Shino has actual feelings for Ovan, and she's just kind of, like, using Haseo as a crutch until he comes back, like an emotional crutch. And I don't want to make it sound like Shino's, like, a shitty person for it, because it kind of feels like something she's, like, unconsciously letting herself doing, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't know. I kind of wish they explored that relationship more. Wow, that was not a good battle syllabus. That was, like, super short. But, it's...
Where did that other guy go?
Yeah, you only really get, like, a few episodes, if that, where you can, like, actually, like, see Haseo and Shino being close with each other before she's PK'd. And then you see Haseo, like, completely, like, break down after she's PK'd, and, like, for the first time in all of GU, I felt like I could understand and empathize more with Haseo's situation. But I like I said, I kind of want to finish Roots first before I talk about it. A little bit of a longer episode too. This was a pretty short one, but Philo was involved, so I kind of had to bring up Roots in some way. But anyway, next time I guess we'll go see what Philo has to say. So see you later, guys.